Okay, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about, making a reflection about whether men can go from being repressed, shut down, to being more connected to their emotions. So, enjoy. Okay, so my invitation is just to start off, just to breathe in through the nose and then breathing out through the mouth, breathing in and breathing out. Just relaxing your shoulders, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay. So I had a question from a subscriber called, I believe her name's Meto Kitty, and to do with whether, basically saying that women are much more in touch with their emotions, their feelings, whereas men can come across more stoicism. So I had to look up stoicism. Someone had asked me this question a few months ago about stoic, which essentially, what I understood, is that we get on with stuff. We don't go into our emotions so much. It's more like a form of repressing. And I think the great Marcus Aurelius, he was involved with Stoicism. So it was this, and whether I've really understood that, but it's like, rather than flowing with our emotions, it's like keeping a lid on them. And what the question was is, is it possible for men to go from this stoic position into being more fluid? And to start off with, I was very much in that stoic camp. I was very much very repressed emotionally. I was, I grew up kind of challenging upbringing, decided to go to boarding school at the age of 10. So from that age up to 18, I was in a very repressed environment where I wasn't allowed to show my emotions. And then going into working in London City again, it's like it was an environment where I could share my emotions. But when I started to have a breakdown around 2000, it's like these emotions, these feelings started to bubble up. And I thought I was going mad because I had been taught that these were bad things, that this was something wrong with it. But then I learned to flow, and I had a lot of support. Buddhist monks, I lived in a Buddhist monastery, and I had the help of Jungian analysts. I also studied shamanism for 5 years, and all of these practices really helped me to connect more with my emotions. So the question, is it possible for a man to do that? Yes. But what I find is that men really need support with it, whether it's they have a coach, whether they have a therapist, like I did, whether they, are in a community, whether it's joining a men's group. It's like we can try and do it on our own, but, when we have a tough day, we're struggling, it's like we generally will drop it, like most people, with men and women, we kind of drop our practice. Whereas if you've got a community, a support, a coach, someone to guide you, go, come on, keep going, someone that you're being held accountable to, that that at the end of the day you're going to go and speak to them and say, actually, I didn't do the practice. So for me as a man, it's like we have to cultivate that emotional depth, and that is coming out, spending time in nature, having breaks, having a morning practice, meditation, your qigong, your yoga. It's like that period of self-care. Also cave time. So this weekend I'm running a retreat with a group of men for 2 days. It's like, it's really important for us as men to drop from the thinking mind into the feelings, to go from doing to just being. Women do this naturally. They're very comfortable multitasking. And it's like, there's a helicopter coming this way. So I'll just stop for a moment. So yes, I feel it's really important, therefore, for us to, have a regular practice, spend time with other men, and have cave time, have retreat times, going to a Buddhist monastery, maybe for a week, a couple of weeks, maybe a winter. It's like if the space, the time that you can do that, to find your depth, find your purpose. We can get lost in this, and actually when we stop, we reflect, why am I here? And for, mature masculine is all about serving. But how may I serve, not just my family, the community, the cosmos? How do I really truly serve? So the question, can we go from being very stoic to being more fluid? Yes, we can. But it's practice. You've got to do it regularly. You've got to dance. You've got to move. You've got to create. You've got to get into that emotional space. You've got to get into that part of yourself. You don't get lost in it, but you develop, you integrate, you spend time in that space. So hopefully that answers your question, Metta Kitty. And please do feel free to ask any questions, any feedback if you feel this is valuable or not. And so I am off tomorrow, just going to go and shop for the men, and then tomorrow I'm going to be doing a retreat in a woodland down the valley, and 2 days doing practices, stalking, tracking, cooking fires, cooking on the fire, qigong, meditation, ceremony. It's like, this is really important for us to develop that. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll check in with you on Monday. So many blessings. Take care. Be well.